Hey everyone, so today we're going to do a POV for a drywall repair. I'm not sure what they tried to patch this with, but it's some weird like brown sticky substance. So first things first, I wanted to remove the old tape and scrape off all the edges so there's no high spots. And here I'm working with 20-minute drywall compound, sheetrock 20, mixing this up to a little bit of a thinner paste consistency. And then I'm using a 4-inch knife to apply it vertically to about 2 inches on each side, a little bit more. And then I fold the paper tape and then kind of seat that in the corner. And then I'm going to run my drywall knife up both sides just to make sure the tape is seated really well. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, seat the tape and embed it in there. Afterwards, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some fans on this, and since it's 20-minute mud in about 20 to 30 minutes, it's going to start hardening up, so I'm using the fan to get lots of airflow going so I can keep going. Okay, after that, I mix another set of sheetrock 20, and here I'm using a 6-inch knife instead of a 4-inch knife, so I'm fanning things out a little bit. I'm applying pressure on the outside. I want to build up the mud here to hide the tape and kind of blend everything in together, so I'm doing that on both sides. Just to make it consistent. Same thing, throw the fans on there and get going. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to use, again, our 6-inch knife, and we're going to start fanning out the drywall compound a little bit further. And at this point, you can't really tell if the tape was there. Make sure your edges are clean so you don't have to do any sanding in between. So after that's dry, we can move on to the all-purpose drywall compound. So this stuff sands much easier and is a lot better for finishing. And here I'm using an 8-inch knife, so I'm fanning out quite a bit further, and this will help hide the tape completely and bring the walls together. So here you want to be careful, add enough product to hide all the 20-minute mud. And then when we come back the next day, we're going to start sanding, and it's fully dry at this point, so we can start knocking off any edges. Run your hand over it just to notice any high spots, and then just smooth, light sanding. Don't start taking off all the mud you put on because you're just going to have to put it back on. Afterwards, you can apply an angled light to it just to see any low spots or high spots. As you can see, you can tell a little bit here. So you don't want to knock down some of those, but don't go crazy trying to get into them. You can always add a touch more mud. We're going to use a little duster to get all the dust off there, and then I'm using the all-purpose compound here again just for a final coat, just for any low spots or any edges, and that dries real quick, and we'll just knock off any final high spots with some sand paper, and we're pretty much there. Final tip is I like to use a little bead of caulking on all the corners when I do corners for drywall. It just creates a perfect corner, and this was the end result. So it turned out really well, and that's it. Cheers all.